Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to ARMR Investing Way. I'm Brett Rosenthal. Been running hedge funds for over a decade, running money for over 30 years. And what I do now is I share with you how I run my personal capital in what we call a virtual hedge fund experience. So you're the portfolio manager on the desk right now, joining me for an afternoon meeting. Take the information, make it your own. Figure out your risk tolerance, your goals, all those types of things before you ever act on anything that's said through here or any other YouTube channel for that matter. All right, so let's dive in today to how we use Fibonacci Fan technique to identify a change in trend and then profit from it. So gather your tools. You want a pen, you want a piece of paper, you can write some of this stuff down. You probably want a trading platform of some kind. I use TradeStation. It doesn't matter. They all have Fibonacci fans. So you find the Fibonacci fan in your program that you're using. And let's get to work drawing our fans. Okay, here it goes. Obviously, if you enjoy this conversation, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget about that. It's a help for me if you'd like to share this video with friends that you think could benefit from the information that I'm sharing. And of course, you can always subscribe to the ARMR report if you want, armorinvesting.com. Be part of our virtual hedge fund, ARMRinvesting.com. All right, so let's dive into what is a Fibonacci fan. So what I like to do at these 4 o'clock conversations with you is just share one stock chart off of our desk that we were literally acting on. So this is going to be information we were acting on today on our desk. I'm just going to walk you through a progression first of how the Fibonacci fan works. And this right here is a chart of Uber. So we used the Fibonacci fan to help us buy Uber. Okay. And we made some good money in Uber, booked some profits today, carrying some to a core. We can go over that, but let's go over why and how we get long Uber. So the Fibonacci fan is right here. I'm going to lift it off like that. Okay. That's what this is right here. What you do with the Fibonacci fan, and if you're using TradeStation, you simply go up to your drawing tools, you find Fibonacci fan on the list, click on it, draw it out. And what you're trying to do is and this is the bottom line of what a Fibonacci fan is trying to do. First of all, if you're not versed in Fibonacci sequences, I suggest, you go look it up, read about it on, anywhere on the internet. There's a lot of great resources. The Fibonacci sequence shows up in many different ways in nature. And there's nothing more nature than the animal spirits that drive stock prices. And that's why I like using Fibonacci sequences, whether it be the fan, retracement levels, target levels. I use it all throughout my strategies. On our desk, we use 3 styles of management. We use day trading tools, swing trading tools, and then investing strategies to manage capital. I literally divide my capital a third into each endeavor. So we use the Fibonacci sequence in day trading tools and then in swing trading tools like this. And then we use retracement lines and targets for our investing strategies. Where are we going to book a profit? Where are we going to put our stops? So Fibonacci is something you should probably read up on. So this is Fibonacci fan. What you do is, the idea with the fan is really simple. When the asset, which is in a downtrend, breaks that third downtrending fan, it tells you a change in trend has begun. So if it's a downtrend, it tells you that an uptrend has begun. Theoretically, it could just be a sideways pattern and, it stopped, but, that's always a possibility, right? But theoretically, when you break that third downtrend, a new uptrend has begun. And let's see how it works and how it worked for us in Uber. So you start from the top of the trend, you draw it down. You draw the first downtrend line tight to where all of the resistance is on the way down. Then it breaks that fan and goes to the second line, that middle line. Okay, then it breaks out above that line, goes to the third line, a white line here, where it finds resistance. What's amazing is I've drawn the fan here. All I'm doing is drawing this bottom line, the yellow line, and the other 3 come with it. See, look, they're all together. It's a sequence. So when you connect that top line, I should say the first line, with the tops, it just lays this line out here. Now let's zoom in on it a little bit because it's kind of crazy. It went right to that third Fibonacci line and got rejected back in February, Uber, right? The sequence is really amazing. Pulls back, consolidates, and then this buy trigger gets us long for the breakout above the third fib line that begins the new uptrend. This is a classic example of a Fibonacci fan working. So you're long here. These are the buy triggers using ARMR algos. You can use your own buy triggers. We're getting long here as it's breaking the second fan, and we're getting long here, blows out above the third fan. You could also add to it right there, and then it starts climbing up. Today was the earnings announcement. Stock was down a bit. I booked a profit today, but for my trading portfolio, for my investing portfolio, you would use the 50-day moving average or the new trend line as your final stop. Okay, now that's what we've already done in the portfolio, and I promised you the number one chart on the desk from today. So here it is. It looks just like Uber using a Fibonacci fan sequence, and the chart symbol is CrowdStrike. Okay, so CrowdStrike is just at the beginning of this process. There's the downtrend, breaks that downtrend, and then tests it again right down here, that yellow line, right? Tests it again, bounces off, then it kind of climbs around this blue line in here, builds this pattern in here. We're getting ARMR buy signals all throughout here. Okay, and then today's the day to own the stock as it's challenging that third downtrend line. Now, my stop on this trade, I always use stops, okay? So the stop on the trade is the low of today. This thing reverses and breaks down, then what we have is an asset that's stopped right at the third fib line. So you could wait till tomorrow to see if it actually goes up. This is the number one stock chart on the desk today, and I'll round it out with if CrowdStrike, then Bug, which is an ETF using the same type of Fibonacci sequence all throughout here. You could be accumulating the asset, this is the ETF of all cybersecurity stocks, right? So there's a whole bunch of cyber. In fact, if I were to pull up for you, and I'm doing that right now, what are the number one stocks in this ETF? Starts with Zscaler at about 9%, Palo Alto 7%. And then CrowdStrike comes in at number 3 at about 6.5%, Fortinet at 6%. So those are four of my favorite cybersecurity companies, and that's why I would buy this ETF, and that's what I was doing today for ETF investing. So you get a 2-for-1 here. It's the same Fibonacci sequence, breaks the trend, builds a base, breaking out. The new uptrend is intact, and now it starts to accelerate. So CrowdStrike and Bug are 2 perfect examples of the Fibonacci fan at work. I hope you found that helpful. Don't forget, you can always subscribe to the channel right down here. Share this with your friends if you find it helpful. Any comments or questions you have throughout the week, I'm happy to answer them. So just drop them into the comment section. I hope you all have a great night. And remember, you're the smart money. Stop listening to other people. You're the portfolio manager of your own assets. Take the information, make it your own, and take responsibility for the success of your portfolio. All right. You guys have a great night.